Hey guys, welcome back to the Open Book Podcast. I haven't filmed an Open Book Podcast episode since 2025. And welcome to Open Book Podcast in 2026. Today's episode is what have what have I done in 2026? I had my room I'm working on my room remodel. That's happening. So you guys will see that video on my main YouTube channel. But for right now, you guys will see on the Open Book Podcast. I did do some. I did do some unboxing of merch that I got, which they're in my fanny pack, so I'm not gonna show you guys that. But if you go over to my main channel, which I will leave the link in the description box of this podcast, I will leave the link in the description box of this podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you join the journey and subscribe to the Open Book Podcast YouTube channel. And if you guys are new here, my name is Joey. I did Vlogmas this year on my main YouTube channel for 2025. So, I did do Vlogmas in 2025, but for 2026 Vlogmas, I'm not going to do Vlogmas for 2026 because I'm gonna skip a year. We had a few snow days in there throughout there. So we had a few snow days throughout. So then we also had a few snow days. I was gonna jumpstart this, and I'm filming this on the last day of January, but you guys are seeing this going to be February 5th, I believe, is what I'm bringing the Open Book Podcast back, for February. I'm bringing it back. I don't know how long this will be a thing, but welcome to the rest of season 1 of the Open Book Podcast. Then I've been doing a lot of Instagram reels over on my main Instagram at smiles.2008. If you follow me over there, I've been doing a lot of nighttime routines, daytime come to school with me videos, some daily vlogs over there, and then I have in all open book fashion, Open Book Podcast has podcast clips over on TikTok now, which I have not posted any clips over there of these podcast episodes, but I'm working on it, and for 2026, I'm going to be posting podcast clips over on my Instagram. I'm really bad at posting podcast clips because right now I'm running another podcast called Storytime Podcasts coming your way shortly. I did do um a little sneak peek of what the Storytime Podcast is, so I will leave that also in the YouTube video description. And I just took a few, like, December off. I filmed like one or two podcasts, and then I took most of January off, but I want to jump back into it because it was the holidays and then it was the new year. Um, the on the first day of the new year, I started my closet renovation. So that was kind of cool. Which you guys will see that video. Hopefully, uh, I get that video up on my main channel here soon. I finally edited it. The new look in my room uh, remodel is not done, but I'm gonna do it in parts. Like, I have my knockout closet part, and then I'm also going to paint my room. So, stay tuned for that, and leave in the comments if you guys missed me. I I do have some stories that I want to recommend, and I want to give a shout out to vistaprint.com. Over the holidays, I got an open book branded mouse pad. Thank you for sending it to me uh, off of my brand kit, which you guys have seen the Instagram reel to that. So thank you for giving it the love. And some of my Instagram reels of my podcast I have um collab with um on Instagram too. I collabed with my main page on Instagram. I also have um a new series that I'm gonna be starting on Instagram. If you noticed, I drink daily, which I can show you right now. I have a bubbler. It's kind of going off the screen, but um, I have an Instagram where I rate daily drinks. Um, I rated my yes, they have Skittle flavors now of in a drink. I rated that on Instagram. Um, due to this is open book podcast, I have been watching a lot of TV shows, and I was really sick at the end of 2025, so I kind of took 2020. That's not how I wanted to end 2025, but I did it anyways. Um, but season 2 of Open Book Podcast is coming soon. I know I wanted to start season 2 of Open Book Podcast will be coming soon with guests and more topics. I'm trying to reach out to guests to see if they want to be a part of the podcast and interviews of guests and stuff like that. We'll see what they say. But I'm wanting guests on this podcast. Well, it just has not happened yet. So I want guests on the pod, and then more stories will be coming out. So stay tuned. If you're interested on what I have for 2026, go over, follow my Instagram at OpenBooks2. I will put show notes down below, and lucky for me, it does timestamps, and thumbnails, for me as well. So I might be able to get these podcasts out to you guys more. Due to I learned a few things with the podcast app I'm using to record right now. I learned a few things with that. Like I said, I do have podcast merch. If you go to Open Books 2 on Instagram, you guys will see coming some more Spotify clips and some of my merch that I unboxed. Thank you, Vistaprint, for sending me it. I wanted to get a hat with my logo on it, which I ended up doing, but my sister didn't want me to pay $7, and I had a good Christmas and a good wrap up from 2025, and like I said, give this podcast a review, or if you're watching this podcast on the Open Book Instant YouTube channel, subscribe to the show, and subscribe to the show on Apple, Amazon. I think it's on Amazon. I would have to double check that, but I know it's on. I know it's on Apple, and I know it's on Spotify, and I know it's on YouTube. This might not be getting up there. I am planning on stopping one of my podcasts, which I will jump into why in the next Open Book Podcast episode. Um, due to, because I have so much going on right now, I'm trying to get ahead of the game with filming content this year for all my social medias. So I'm very excited to do that. And the goals that I have for 2026 is more, um, bring more guests on, do more fun things on this podcast, not just raw conversations. Even though I like raw conversations, that's why I named this brand Open Book Podcast. And I want to um um have Open Book Podcast officially available everywhere in 2026. A big goal of mine was get guests on this podcast this year and come up with new podcast topics, cause and we know the Super Bowl is coming up. So if you're a football fan, I do have comments if you're watching this on YouTube. Here's the thing, I'm not really into football, but if you are a football fan, comment down below what football fan you are and stuff like that. And I want to jumpstart content like for Instagram, for podcasts. So I might podcast schedule for 2026. I might get a grip and through a date come up with an open book podcast schedule for 2026. And if I do that, you guys will see me a lot more, and I'll make sure to post on the open book Instagram the podcast schedule, and I will even post it to the Instagram stories. Another big accomplishment for me is I've been starting to take my pants off independently. My mom is very proud for that. It takes some time and stuff like that, but I do it independently, so that's that, and then that's pretty much what happened to me over the last couple months. I've been taking a break off of social media, but I'm ready to come back and be strong and better than ever. We have had a lot of snow days recently, so, and it's been really cold. It's finally warming up some this weekend, so that is nice to say. Um, for Christmas, I got for my podcast a podcast mic, which a different one, a whole setup. A new room tour will be coming out when my room is done. Stay tuned for that. And um and if you and if you're excited for 2026 goals like I am, um leave down in the comments what your guys' New Year's resolution. I know this is coming out in February. We're a month into 2026, so stay tuned for what I have in store for Open Book Podcasts and working on something big coming soon, you guys. I want to, I don't, I want to eventually have my own physical product because, as you guys know, I'm a disability kid. I have cerebral palsy. Um, Also, so I want to come up with my own, like, it's gonna be like an open book journal, um, where you guys can journal. I will keep you guys updated on that, and I'll keep you guys updated on the projects I have and stuff like that, because I have a lot in store for you guys. But, I've been doing a lot of content, making content, editing content, doing a lot for Instagrams, doing a lot for YouTube, doing a lot for stuff like that. And I'm I'm a big part of why I took a month off of creating content. I didn't start in January. I'm starting in February again, is because I faced content burnout. Everybody faced content burnout when they did Vlogmas. I I'm not the only one that faces content burnout, and I just want you guys to know I did not forget about my open book community platform, but I'm happy to be back. So I faced content burnout because I was posting every day in December. For 2025, I have 100 videos. I have not started yet for 2026, but things are in the works. I have a video already pretty much edited for 2026, and I did do some trends on Instagram, so if you guys haven't seen that, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I will subscribe to the Open Book YouTube channel. Comment below, give it a like on give it a and follow me over on Instagram and YouTube and the Open Book TikTok. And I will see you in the next Open Book episode. I'm so happy to be back in 2026. It was a whirlwind for the end of 2025. Open book community, I did not forget about you. Like I said before, um, I was also thinking of different podcast, um, um, stuff for you guys. I also want to somehow share, um, reaction videos on like different podcast platforms and post on Twitch and do a lot more open book stuff in 2026. I also want to do an open book podcast Q&A for an episode. So I'll be asking for questions. If you guys have questions, you can leave them down below in the comments on YouTube. Or you can, if you always have questions, feel free to leave them down below in the comments on Instagram as well as YouTube. and Spotify comments are on. Don't forget to turn on your notifications. Don't forget to give this podcast a 5-star review. Follow me on Instagram. This podcast is getting quite long, but I figured that I would kind of give you guys an update where I've been, because I kind of killed the podcast game in 2026, in 2025. So, yeah. Bye, guys.